This is the Audi RS5 Cabriolet, and it's a very, very nice car. Everyone who sees it will tell you this and ask you what color it is, to which you will respond, Nardo Gray, and sound very fancy indeed. At a valet anywhere outside Miami or Los Angeles, you'd be an absolute rock star in this thing. In LA, you're just kinda dope. It's got a bumpin'-ass Bang & Olufsen stereo, big rims with cool wavy disc brakes, actually does hold 4 people, and makes a sound like the god of hellfire himself. But it's also a convertible, which means car guys are gonna hate it, right? Well, I'm a car guy, and I've got the keys. Let's roll.
So, when they transform the RS5 into a convertible, 3 things happen. 2 of them are bad, and 1 of them is good. Let's start with the good. The roof is off. You get sunshine in your hair, and you get just a little bit closer to that wonderful, even bark of the 4.2-liter V8. 450 horsepower coming out of the back there. Sounds real nice on the downshifts. It's like a little, it's got a woof to it. Very canine. Now, the bad things. One is that the car gains about 400 pounds. This car is 4,420 pounds, and if you're into comparisons, I will tell you that that is 60 pounds heavier than my Honda Odyssey minivan. The second thing that happens is it loses structural rigidity. That roof is an integral member of the structure of this car as a coupe. By taking it off, you can feel it. Now, it's not in the corners where you feel it, you feel the weight there. But when you hit little bumps in the road, potholes, you just get this disconnect, this jiggliness that is emphasized when you put your hand and elbow like this. You can feel this triangle moving. A lot about this car is still the same, and a lot of it is to like. The engine, even though it's no longer best in class, and maybe it never was, is like a real sweetheart of an engine. Makes a great sound. It's got a racetrack or sporting oriented power band, meaning it's kind of got nothing below $4,000, but if you wind it out, use all of the gearing. Yes, the German symphony comes alive, and with it comes speed. On the other hand, it's got no torque. It only makes 317 pound-feet of torque, and even that peaks at 4,000 RPM. There's no low-end grunt like a big cube American motor or like a twin-turbo engine, even Audi's 4-liter twin-turbo. And nowhere is that lack of torque more apparent than when you use launch control. Audi says this car will do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, which for an RS model is not impressive. Maybe it's a little faster, maybe it's not, but I'm gonna show you launch control, and we'll show sport mode, traction off, left foot brake, right foot gas. That 7-speed dual clutch holds at 5,500 RPM, and then we go. And that's it. If you're expecting a tear your face off launch, you're just not going to get it. Gets out of the hole without drama, but ultimately you need that big torque if you want a really dramatic launch, and this thing just doesn't have it. The question is, why would you buy the RS5 convertible? After all, it's sort of silly. It's no longer the best performing version. It's heavier, it's sloppier than the coupe, and Audi's other RS offerings will outperform it in most ways. But here in California, top-down motoring is good. Maybe you're not going to track days. Maybe you're just going to work with the occasional run through the canyons. Maybe you just want the best because it's the best. Think of how many people drive AMGs and that don't ever do anything with them. They just want that sound and that feel. If I had the money, I would go for the V8, because that supercharged 6 you get with the S5 is a fine engine, but it's nothing to write home about. And with this, at least you get the sound, you get that bark. It's still a fundamentally good car. Everything works, it's well built, it's got a slickness to it that you expect from Audi. The interior's aging a bit, but it still holds up nicely. The seats are comfortable, it looks good. Everyone loves how it looks, everyone loves the color. The transmission's really good. You have all-wheel drive if you got to drive year-round in various climates. So for $85,000, is this RS5 worth the money? It's tough to say. You get a lot more car with something like a Hellcat or a Roadster. If you wanted a convertible, a two-seater will have the chassis rigidity because it'll be designed that way from the ground up. On the other hand, if you want a four-seat luxury convertible, your options are kind of limited. Mercedes E-Class convertible, BMW 4 Series convertible, or 6 Series, and then you have your Bentley GT. Not a whole lot out there in that market, and so this one is for the people who like Audis. If you like Audis, you want a fast Audi that's convertible, here you go. That's the most obvious thing ever said. But is it the RS that I want? Gonna have to say no. According to the owner's manual, to engage the launch control, you put traction control in sport, which it is. You put the transmission in sport auto, which it is. Turn off your hazards. And you do left foot brake pedal for at least 1 second, firmly. Right foot full throttle and then dump. But as you can see, if you can see the car jerking, it's trying to engage the clutches. It's supposed to rev it up to 5,500 RPM and then go, but it's engaging the clutches. So even if you use Audi's manual exactly as it says, literally in real time, it just doesn't work. Awesome.